Hey guys, so I'm in the middle of working on a project and I thought, maybe I should probably record this and do a video since I haven't done one for a while. So I'm making a little Easter egg initial sign for my front door. Inspiration came from this that I found on Pinterest. And so this is a smaller version. This is a wood plaque that I got from AC Moore around Christmas time. Only spent a couple bucks on it. I didn't end up using it for the project that I was going to. I decided to make a much bigger sign. So I had this left over. It was already stained. All I did was drill a hole in it. Now I have it flipped over. This is actually the back because I started doing it and I didn't want to show you the front of it yet. So I cut out a chevron pattern using my Cricut machine, and I am sticking it on here to give my chevron design. Now my intention was not to actually use these small pieces, but as I was getting it all, taking the sticker part off. So this is actually a piece of printable vinyl that I'm using, and I chose this because it was a junk piece. So I figured I'll just use it for this project. It's not even, and I'm okay with that. So I'm just sticking them on. When I took off the whole big piece, it was just, the strips are so thin that it just was not working out the way that I wanted it to. So I am just sticking these on, and then I'm going to paint over it. I really like the color of the wood, and I think it'll look good having that wood. Now that I can see it like farther away, I can see that these are really not even. So, I mean, I guess it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. That was kind of really not even. That looks a little better. So I'm just kind of sticking these on, and I'm going to paint over it. I have already cut out the letter P to put on the middle of this, and I used a piece of birch plywood that I purchased at AC Moore back around Christmas time as well for a project that I made my mom. So I had a piece of that laying around, so I cut out a P with that, and that needs to get painted. Yeah, I haven't gone that far. So that's going to be that. This is the paint that I'm going to use. I was kind of torn between yellow and pink, and I decided to go with the pink. This was the yellow I was thinking of, but I think I'm going to make another sign for outside of my house, and then I'm going to use the yellow for it. So instead I'm going to use the pink. This is my letter P that I already cut out. I broke it when I was trying to get it off, but that's okay. So now I'm just going to use a little stamp a brush to stamp my paint on. So I'm just making sure these are done real good. And it's, I'm going to distress it anyway, so it doesn't have to be really perfect by any means, but just kind of trying to make sure the bubbles are out so we can kind of get something sort of nice going on here. Okay. So I'm just going to put the paint right down on this paper. I love craft paper, and I buy it by ginormous rolls so I can use it for a number of projects. So there we go. So I can move it down a little bit. All right, so now I'm just going to start stamping away. I'm going to try to go somewhat nicely around the edges. I don't really want too much of the paint going off the edge. I really like the wood stain, so I don't really want to mess any of that up. And then I'm probably going to do maybe 2 coats of the pink on it. but I'm just stamping all the way around. So I've decided this year I need to make a lot of Easter, spring decorations because I just don't have any. I mean, really the biggest holiday I have is Christmas, and then all other holidays kind of fall short in the decoration department. So I'm trying to build that up. Especially now that I have kids, it's fun to decorate for holidays. And I remember as a kid, you know, we always had like window clings and stuff like that. I don't even have those for like every holiday. So I need to step up my game here. And I make so many projects that for other people, I don't make myself things very often, so it makes it kind of hard. So now I have that. I'm just going to dry it real quick with a heating tool. Alright, so I dried it almost all the way. Not quite, but that's okay. I'm just going to let it kind of cool down and finish drying while I paint my pea. Maybe I'll do yellow on the pea. See what it looks like next to the... That's kind of cute. Or do I want white? Oh, it's so hard. What to do? What to do? Oh goodness, my white won't come out. Maybe that'll... Let's see what happens with the yellow. I don't like the yellow, but I'm gonna paint over the whole thing with the yellow and then I'll go over it with white. Yeah, just not quite what I was looking for. Alright, so let me dry that real quick. Oh, I didn't even... I'm sorry, guys. That was all off camera. Okay. So that pea dried very, very quick. Don't mind my awful middle chair making noises. Okay. So I'm just going to go over it now with white. I think the white will stand out a lot more. Alright, I definitely like the white better, I do believe. So, and then before I dry that, I'm going to go ahead and do another coat of paint on the egg itself. And then we can dry them both at the same time. Big old chunk of old paint sitting there. Alright. I know I'm off camera, guys, sorry. I'm just getting around this bottom edge. It's off camera. I mean, I think you guys can get the gist of it. You don't really need to see me paint every last part of it, but okay, so those are both painted. We're going to dry it with the heating tool again. Okay, so now we can start pulling our tape off. Okay, so sanding block. Normally I would use a heavier or grit than this, but this is the only one I could find offhand. Told you my craft room is always a mess. So I can find nothing that I need. Whenever I need it, and then when I'm not looking for it, I will find it, and I will put it somewhere so that I know where it is the next time I need it, and then it won't be there. So now I'm just sanding over all of it. Ooh. completely. So this is what it looks like, a little roughed up, and it's hard to get the color in though. Yeah, I can't get the color to adjust right, but it's a very pretty pink color. So there's the P that's gonna go on. Now I'm gonna Mod Podge over this whole thing too. So let's get that out. And I'm probably gonna do a gloss. I'm gonna do a gloss on the P, but I'm gonna do matte on this, I think. I'm kind of running low on Mod Podge too, which stinks. I have to get more soon. So, oh man, just stuck it right into the wet paint. So I'm just using cheap foam brushes. I buy these by ginormous packfuls. They're great. You can get them very cheap, and then you can just throw them out when you're not using them, or when you're done using them. So, okay. So now I'm just going to Mod Podge over this whole thing. I do have a screen door, so I don't plan on it getting wet, but, you know, you never know. Crazy storms come through, and I'd like to keep it protected. And I pretty much Mod Podge everything that I make, all my wood projects, just to help give them a little extra protection. I'm not being like very neat about it. I'm just kind of going over it. I don't want to leave any big clumps because although it dries clear, you can still kind of see where those thick clumps are, but and so the Pinterest didn't show like burlap ribbon per se, just a piece of burlap, but I actually have some burlap ribbon, so I think I'm just going to use that because and save my bigger pieces of burlap. Sorry, I'm off camera. I keep kind of forgetting about that. My kids are supposed to be napping right now, but my son has not fallen asleep at all. Looks like my husband just went up there. I have the monitor down here, so I've been kind of keeping an eye on him, but I do have it turned down a little bit so that I could do this video and not be crazy interrupted, but alright. So there's the A. So let's do the P. I'm not even going to do the P in the gloss. I'm just going to keep using the matte because it's right here and got it open, and 9 times out of 10 I'll have to fight with the other one to get it open. So I'm just quickly Mod Podging over the P. Alright, that's all covered. So Mod Podge actually dries pretty quickly, and I didn't do a very thick coat, so it's going to dry even quicker. So while that's drying, I'm going to kind of see what flower I want to put on it. I have a number of pre-made flowers because it's one of the things I do. So I have some burlap flowers. It's kind of light, a little too light. I have some just plain fabric-y flowers. I have some colorful burlap flowers. Maybe even I'll do the smaller piece, and I don't like the small one. Purple, red. None of them are giving the contrast that I kind of wanted. Let's see what else I've got. That's kind of the similar flower that they used on the Pinterest page. So let me show you what I pinned again. It's almost identical to that. Like a little rosette, but it is pretty cute, huh? And then I think that's the color of my burlap ribbon, so that actually might work pretty well. Actually, it is the color of the burlap ribbon. So maybe I'll do that. Just one more time. I feel like that's too light. I like this one a lot, but I'm afraid that it's too dark. Let me think. Maybe too big. But I don't like how small that one is. I have done a tutorial before on how to make these burlap flowers, so you can check out my blog for that. Oh, it's just so hard. Let me see what else I got in here. That's just, I don't like that pink next to that. I do kind of like the purple. What do you think? I know you can't answer me. So, it's got to be what I think, huh? Who knew picking the flower would be this hard? And I do have some store-bought flowers as well. And I could always glimmer mist a flower to put on. That's too much. Kind of like that. I think we'll use that. Hot glue that there. Alright, so let me just one more time. There's that. Or there's that. I think I'm going with that one. Alright, now I gotta clean up all my flowers. Just tossing those out of the way. I'm trying to get my stuff a little put away while I'm doing this. Now the only question will be, where in the world is my hot glue gun? That is a very, very big and important question. Sorry guys, looking for my hot glue gun. So where I work, we sponsored a table for a Disney brunch, and we decorated. It was last Sunday, and I took my hot glue gun, so it's somewhere wherever the stuff is that I brought back. But anyways, you get the kind of point. So this, now I'm just going to cut some burlap ribbon. So just kind of rolled up the end so I can feed it through here. And I'm just trying to make it somewhat even. And then I'm just going to tie a bow. Well, it seemed a little easier in my head. Alright, apparently I can't make a bow with burlap ribbon. Goodness. Actually, pretty thick piece, but no fear. I do have burlap handy nearby. But I don't think that piece is long enough. Oh, here we go. What was a thinner, not thinner, I'm sorry, a lighter shade. So I'm just pulling out a string now so I can find a line to cut along. And I'm just going to cut this off camera because you don't really need to see. I showed this in another video, but if you remove one of the strings, then you have a nice even line to cut along. To cut it straight, and it helps to cut down on the fraying. The burlap ribbon is very stiff, and then it has the wire in it too. It makes it even tougher to work with when you're making something smaller. Actually, this edge wasn't cut very neatly, so I'm just going to pull out one of the strings here, and I'm going to recut this. So I'm cutting the other edge now because it was not a nice edge. I know I'm doing it off camera. I'm almost done. Okay, so that is cut. So we've got like a little ribbon strip here. And now we'll feed this in. Okay. Kind of a thick piece to work with, but I think it'll be slightly easier than the other one. Oh goodness, we're not tying it in a bow. We're just gonna knot this. Here's our little knot at the top. Oh, and it's spraying like crazy. All right, so there's the pea, and there's our flower. And I just have to find my hot glue gun and put it all together. So thanks so much for stopping by and bearing with me while I quickly made this project. And it's fairly easy, and I wish you good luck when you make yours. Thanks, guys. Bye.